Every day, people influence your thoughts without asking for permission. It can be obvious, like an advertisement, but the most powerful influence is often invisible. It can come through repetition, social pressure, emotional triggers, and carefully chosen words. Think about how often you hear the same idea. When a message is repeated again and again, your brain can begin to treat it as familiar, and familiarity can feel like truth. This is why headlines, slogans, and repeated opinions can shape what people believe. Another powerful method is social proof. When many people choose or approve something, you may assume it must be correct. The brain learns from groups, but this shortcut can be manipulated. Then there is emotional influence. Fear, anger, guilt, and excitement can make you react before you think. Someone who knows which emotion to trigger may push you toward a decision before you question it. Even the way a question is asked can change your answer. If someone says, "Why are you making the wrong choice?" they have already framed the situation as if your choice is wrong. This is called framing. The information may be similar, but presentation changes interpretation. You may also be influenced by authority. A confident voice, impressive title, or reputation can make an opinion sound more convincing. Confidence is not always evidence. The goal is not to become suspicious of everyone. The goal is to become aware. Before accepting a claim, pause and ask yourself, what emotion is this message creating? Who benefits if I believe it? What evidence supports it? Am I choosing this, or am I following what everyone around me is doing? The moment you slow down now, you create space between influence and action. That pause can protect your decisions. Your mind is powerful, but it is not immune to influence. The more you understand these psychological patterns, the harder it becomes for others to control your attention, emotions, and choices without you noticing. The people around you may not control your mind directly, but they can influence the way you think, feel, and decide. One of the strongest tools they use is your attention. If someone can keep your attention focused on one idea, problem, fear, or desire, they can quietly shape your decisions. Consider a simple conversation. A person may ask questions that lead you toward a conclusion without telling you what to think. Instead of giving an order, they make you feel that the decision was completely yours. This is powerful because people usually resist direct control, but they often accept an idea when they believe they discovered it themselves. Another method is emotional pressure. Someone may make you feel guilty for saying no, afraid of losing them, or excited about getting their approval. Once your emotions become strong, logical thinking can become harder. You may agree simply because you want the uncomfortable feeling to disappear. There is also the technique of selective information. A person does not have to lie to influence you. They can simply show you one side of a situation while hiding another. When you only see selected information, your brain builds a conclusion from an incomplete picture. Watch for sudden urgency too. Phrases like, "decide now," "everyone is doing it," or "you will regret missing." These are designed to reduce the time you have to think. A calm decision requires space, while pressure encourages reaction. The best defense is not arguing with everyone. It is learning to pause. When you feel unusually pressured, ask, "Why am I feeling this emotion? What information am I missing? Who gains from my decision? Would I make the same choice if nobody were watching?" Your mind becomes harder to manipulate when you stop reacting automatically. Awareness gives you a choice, and that choice is your real protection. Remember, influence is part of everyday life. The goal is not to escape it, but to recognize it before it becomes a decision. Stay aware. Most mind control does not look like control. It can appear as a friendly suggestion, a casual comment, or a harmless conversation. One powerful technique is repetition. When you hear a statement many times, it can start to feel familiar. Your brain prefers information that feels easy to recognize, and that feeling can sometimes be mistaken for truth. This is why repeated opinions can become powerful, even when nobody provides strong evidence. Another technique is comparison. People may show you two choices and make one look much better. Instead of asking what you truly want, you may begin judging yourself against someone else's standard. There is also the power of labeling. If someone repeatedly calls a person lazy, weak, selfish, or unsuccessful, that label can influence how others see them. Words can shape identity when they are repeated often enough. Silence can also become pressure. Imagine sharing an opinion and receiving a long, uncomfortable silence. You may suddenly feel the need to explain yourself or change your position. Another hidden method is creating an artificial group. When people believe everyone else agrees with an idea, they may become less willing to question it. The desire to belong can become stronger than the desire to investigate. The solution is simple but powerful. Create mental distance. When a message feels emotional, urgent, or personal, slow down. Separate facts from opinions. Look for information that challenges the message, not only information that supports it. You do not need to become suspicious of every person. You simply need to become more conscious of how influence works. Once you recognize the pattern, you can pause before reacting. That pause gives you something extremely valuable: control over your own decisions. The brain uses shortcuts to make fast decisions. Those shortcuts are useful and powerful. A person may learn which compliments make you comfortable, or which fears make you act quickly. Once they understand those triggers, they can repeat them to create a predictable reaction. Pay attention when someone makes you feel confused, guilty, rushed, or dependent. Healthy influence allows you to disagree, ask questions, and take time before deciding. People do not always need to tell you what to think. Sometimes they simply create an environment where one decision feels easier than every other choice. This is one of the most interesting ways your mind can be influenced without you noticing. One common method is the commitment trap. Imagine you agree to something small. Later, the request becomes bigger, because you already said yes once. You may feel uncomfortable saying no the second time. Your brain wants to remain consistent with your previous decision. Another technique is the fear of losing something. People often react more strongly to potential losses than equal gains. Someone can use this by making you believe that you are about to lose an opportunity, relationship, status, or reward. Suddenly, you may act quickly instead of thinking carefully. Attention can also be controlled through distraction. If someone keeps you focused on a dramatic issue, you may completely miss a more important detail. The loudest part of a message is not always the most important part. Then there is selective praise. A person may give you compliments when you behave the way they want. Over time, you may begin repeating that behavior because you want the approval again. The influence feels positive, but the pattern can still shape your choices. Another psychological trap is creating false choices. Someone may present only two options and make you believe those are the only possibilities. But there may be a third option: doing nothing, waiting, asking questions, or finding more information. The strongest defense is to slow the process down. Ask yourself, what choices am I actually being given? What happens if I wait? And would I still choose this without the pressure? Your mind is constantly trying to save energy by using shortcuts. That is normal, but when someone understands those shortcuts, they may try to guide your reaction. Awareness gives you back control. You cannot stop every person from influencing you, but you can become better at recognizing when influence is happening. The next time you suddenly feel pressured to agree, stop for a moment. Take a breath. Think independently. Sometimes the most powerful decision you can make is simply refusing to react immediately. Your mind is influenced every day, but that does not mean you are powerless. The first step toward protecting your decisions is understanding that influence can happen quietly, without commands, threats, or obvious manipulation. People can influence you through repetition, emotions, social pressure, authority, and even the environment around you. The important question is not whether you are influenced. Everyone is. The important question is whether you notice it before making a decision. Imagine someone constantly telling you that you are not good enough. At first, you may reject the idea, but after hearing it repeatedly, you might begin questioning yourself. This shows how repeated messages can slowly affect the way you see yourself. Now imagine the opposite. Someone gives you constant praise whenever you behave the way they want. You may start seeking that approval without realizing that your behavior is being shaped. Another powerful form of influence is information overload. When you receive too many opinions, headlines, videos, and arguments at once, your brain may become tired. Instead of investigating everything, you may simply accept the easiest explanation. This is why creating mental space is important. Put your phone down. Take a moment before replying. Read beyond the headline. Ask where the information came from. Most importantly, give yourself permission to say, "I don't know yet." You should also learn to recognize emotional signals. If a message instantly makes you extremely angry, afraid, excited, or guilty, that is a good moment to pause. Strong emotion does not automatically mean something is true. Never confuse confidence with evidence. A person can speak with certainty and still be completely wrong. Look at facts, explanations, and reliable evidence instead of simply trusting the loudest voice. Taking back control does not mean becoming paranoid or distrustful. It means becoming more deliberate. You choose when to respond. You choose what deserves your attention. You choose which opinions deserve further investigation. Your mind will always be influenced by the world around you, but awareness creates a gap between what happens and how you respond. And inside that small gap is your freedom. The moment you stop reacting automatically and start thinking consciously, you become much harder to manipulate without knowing it.